My camera's starting again on its own. Apparently it's go time. Okay. No vanity today. um, Spring has sprung, I think. It really seems like it. Still a little chilly in the morning. Uh, Raining and raining and raining. Looks super dreary, but kind of springy. Uh, Need all this rain to get the flowers and everything and the garden, and so we'll take it. It's not freezing cold. The mama pig knocked over her water this morning, or at some point yesterday, and so I had to fill that up. And I was grateful that it's warm enough. I could just say to my oldest, "Turn the water on," and voila, I can fill up the thing. So I'm grateful for that. Um, I wanted to talk about feelings because I know I frequently talk about changing or shifting your perspective. And probably one of the few things I don't do that with is anymore. I did, was trying to shift my feelings. Like, oh no, I should always be in this happy, lovey vibration sort of thing. And this morning I'm just a little like irritated ish for no particular reason. Just that's how I feel. And I'm really big about I'm not shifting how I feel. I'm going to feel it, and generally, when I feel it and let it just go to its completion, it passes much more quickly, and I'm not pushing something down and bearing something that maybe I need to address. Um, I think honestly, this irritation is just my house was really hot this morning, like super. My husband started a fire because it was probably really chilly when he woke up and left, and he's trying to be nice. And by the time I got up, it was 75 degrees in the house, and that's really hot with the fire kind of heat. Uh, um, so we're generally usually around 69, 70 is comfortable, and 65 that's when we light the fire to warm things up. So, and I know for some people that live in a house in town, that's going to seem absurd. um, but even when we lived in a house in town, my house was at 69 or around there, because I'm super cheap and I don't want to pay the electric company or the gas company to pay for the gas or the electric. So, anywho, so I think it was just like an actual comfort thing. And as I've been outside and it's a little bit cooler, and uh, just enjoying hearing the birds, and it's not raining, gratefully, but it's just it's a pretty grayish day, and I guess that kind of fits my mood, and I'm okay. I wouldn't try to change the day. I know we all like sunshine and stuff, but there's days and times for cloudy, gray days that are rainy, and there are times for snowy days, or crisp fall windy days, or even windy spring days. Um, and so, just like I wouldn't try to change the weather, I just kind of flow with it. I do that with my feelings. I used to try to, oh, I can't feel this way, I can't feel irritated. This isn't how an enlightened person, feels. They should always be in this state of love and gratitude and happiness, and I need to shift how I'm feeling. I need to shift it. And while I do shift my perspective on events and things occurring in my life or around me, um, I don't shift those feelings because, like I said, I noticed a tendency that I'm actually burying, and I don't want to bury anger. I don't want to bury sadness. I don't want to bury irritation. I just want to feel them, maybe find the root issue if there is one. And I think there's just times that we just feel emotions. If you look at children, there's just times they wake up and they're in a shitty mood. Like, they just are. And there's other days that they wake up and they're just in a happy mood. And we've had this programming that we should, and remember, should is programming, we should wake up and be in a good mood. We should wake up and be grateful for the day. And those all still apply. But if I wake up and I'm just kind of irritated or whatever, what's the sense in necessarily changing that? Why not just feel it and let it flow through me and then let it go? And it's harder as a parent because I don't want to be irritated with these little people around me who have done nothing wrong. Although, oddly enough, they were all irritable this morning too. So I don't know, maybe if there's something wrong in the energy in the house, or maybe just the energy in general. We've all been processing a lot of light and energy codes from the sun and the energy from the earth with the Schumann resonance. And maybe it's just kind of all catching up to us today. But again, I can't control that. So why would I try to shift out of it into this happy, happy, lovey vibration? That's just not where I'm at. There's some reason that I need to be in this state, and I'm okay with that, and I'm flowing. And if I imagine myself in the river flowing along, I've kind of hit a bump or a rock, and I can cling to the rock and be like, oh my gosh, it's a horrible day, and it's not going to get any better, and this sucks, and I hate life, and blah, blah. I could look at it like that, and to me that's clinging onto the rock. Or, and I can try to push away from the rock and be like, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to get back into the flow of love and happiness and light, and it's going to be great. Or I could just be like, I'm stuck on the rock. At some point, I'm not going to be stuck on the rock. And if there's something I need to address here, I will. And if there's not, then I'm just going to be stuck on the rock for a minute. And when it's time, this will leave me. And I'll shift away from it and flow down the river to, whatever's next. And I think that's, wow, that was a really good analogy. And a way to look at it is, are you clinging to the rock? Are you trying to push away from it? Are you just like, okay, I'm in a flow state and I'm on this rock right now, and whether that rock is anger, sadness, irritation, whatever it may be, and sometimes the rock is happiness, and we cling to happiness. I don't think many people push away from happiness, but who knows, maybe some people do. Or we can just be there. I think the other analogy that I used from Lori Ladd was sitting at a dinner table and letting all of our emotions have a turn to speak. So frequently we're taught that if you're angry, and anger is coming out of you, you need to tell anger to sit down, and you need to shift it, to your love state or whatever. And it's hard because if we're talking about you're angry or irritated with another person, then perhaps that's something you need to address with that person. There's, maybe there's more here. But I'm just talking about in general, like you're just waking up and you're just in this state, or all of a sudden you're driving in the car and you're just like, there's no actual cause or trigger. You're just boom, like, I'm irritated. What the hell? Okay. And instead of trying to change it, just going with it. And recognizing then if you are angry or sad or irritated, upset, anxious, whatever, if you're these other things that can be at the dinner table, and there's some other outside trigger, then are you trying to suppress your anger or your irritation or your sadness because of another person? What is this reflection in this other person trying to show you? Were they just being a butt and you're like, oh my gosh, they're being a butt? Is that because you're not holding a boundary? Is it because you are holding a boundary? Is it because they're involved in some programming that you're no longer involved in and you're just irritated with them because they're falling for the programming? That's still feeling the feeling. It's not necessarily shifting it, but it's digging deeper into the feeling. And I think that's a good asset and thing. That's when we step back into that observer position, and I go, I am angry, sad, upset because my spouse did this or my friend did this, and I've addressed it with them, or I've addressed it with them, and they know this boundary or not, and they're still holding true to what they're thinking and saying, and I'm still holding true to what I'm thinking and saying, and we're just going to have to agree to disagree, which kind of sucks for everybody. There doesn't seem to be any resolution. Okay, so sit with that. Can you be happy that you held a boundary when maybe you struggled with that before? Can you have love, compassion, and kindness for your friend or your spouse because they're struggling too, even if they're not seeing it the same way you are? Can you still love and have compassion for them because they're probably struggling and uncomfortable right now too? And most importantly, have love, compassion, and understanding for you. We frequently think about everybody else, but not ourselves. So I guess we're digging deep into feelings today. And that's, we've talked about feelings that are just, they pop up and they come and you're kind of like, where the hell did that come from? And you can shift out of it. I'm not going to say it's wrong. I'm just saying when I've done that, I don't feel in alignment. I feel like it popped up for a reason, even if I never know the reason, and I'm not going to try to shift or force myself out of it. I'm just going to be in it, and it usually shifts really quickly. And now if I'm angry because of a trigger or a cause, if I'm irritated, if I'm anxious because of a cause, then I sit there and go, is there something else I need to do here? Is there something I need to evaluate here? Am I not stepping back into that observer position? Is there something I need to say? Is there something I need to reflect on? What do I need to do, if anything, here? And if I've done that and I'm still having that feeling, can I have love, compassion, and kindness for me? Can I have love, compassion, and kindness for that other person? Knowing that, we're probably not going to agree, and that's got to be okay, and that is okay. We frequently think, we got to get somebody on our side. Okay, universe. We frequently think we need to get somebody on our side and into our thinking. I got a secondary message there. Thank you. And there's some nice, you saw the synchronization probably happening. You could probably reverse it, slow it down, and go ding, and see the light bulb above my head. We can't force other people to think, feel, see what we're seeing. It just is. We're seeing things from our own unique perspective. Yes. We're seeing things from our own unique perspective. They're seeing things from their own unique perspective. And it's okay. Can you love them through it? Can you love you through it? Yes, I can. I laugh at the universe kind of going. I didn't want to do a video this morning, but I kind of sat down and I was like, well, I'm just going to talk about how I'm feeling. And here we go. We get around 15 minutes later into the lesson I need to hear because I got to the lesson. So, a good reminder for me. You can't change, shift anybody else. And I think I was trying to do that this morning. But I think everything else applies too. Um, I think if you are feeling irritated, and whether the irritation is just a naturally occurring thing or if there's a cause, you need to dig deep into that and figure it out and just let it be too. Um, and if you're coming up against a wall, not holding on to the rock or letting that emotion stand up, speak up at the dinner table, and just letting it go and loving that rock or that emotion, having love, compassion, and kindness all the way through. And if there's another person involved, loving them all the way through it. And that's hard because our programming tells us when we're angry or upset or irritated with someone, we're not supposed to love them. So the challenge is, can we? And there's times I am going to fail. You are going to fail. And that's okay. And then we still need to have love, compassion, and kindness for ourselves for failing. And there's times we're going to realize in front of other people like this that, oh, what's going on? Why, kind of a pseudo failing, but we have time to fix it. Okay, message received. So if you're struggling with feelings, I'd encourage you, don't try to change them. Don't hold on to them. Don't push them away and try to change yourself into, this happy, lovey, vibrational state. Just let it be. If you feel there's a cause, dig deeper into that. And if you figure out the cause or don't, can you love you through it? Can you love other people through it if they're involved in causing it? And that's it. So, a good lesson on a dreary spring day, I think. I wouldn't try to change the day. So why would I change my emotions? I can love the day though for what it is. And I can find aspects of it that are beautiful. The grass right now is super greener than it has been in a long time. And I can hear the birds singing, and they're singing louder than they have most days. And I can just enjoy being here in this place, knowing that I'm not hanging on, I'm not pushing it away, I'm just floating with the ride, floating on the river, and I'm stuck on a rock, and at some point the river's going to take me away, and the day's going to change. I hope you have a great day.